In his first season as a major league pitching coach, Bob Welch has delivered exactly what the Diamondbacks were looking for.
Even though he was untested in this role, I felt very confident that he could come in here with his knowledge of the game mechanically, and even more so his attitude. That's what we wanted to change, was the attitude of the players on this ball club, and Welch has been a perfect fit.
Before coming to the Diamondbacks, Bob managed the Valley Vipers of the Western League and spent a season coaching for Arizona State and his close friend, Pat Murphy.
You talk about Bob Welch like talking about family. I mean, he's the most remarkable man I've ever been around. He touches people's lives like no other.
I know that being with Pat and being around a game and seeing some of the things that he knows about baseball has helped me out on the field, but him and I have become really close where we've really become brothers off the field as well.
Spending the majority of his life around the diamond, Bob's attitude and understanding of the game has helped him build relationships with his players.
For me, I know when I sit down and talk to him that he's drawn on something that he's been there and he's done that and he's achieved it and he understands it.
We've become close where we can share those things, and that's the important part, that you don't have to go over to his house and go out, but when we're here at the park, what can I do to help Kurt Schilling become a better person and a man?
Bob's pitching credentials are quite impressive, having spent 17 years on the mound. He was just 21 years old when the Dodgers called him up in the heat of the 1978 pennant race.
They made me feel very comfortable the first time because it is a little nerve-wracking. Then I looked around and saw that, well, if I can just kind of concentrate on what I have to do, I think we'll be fine.
Thrust into the Fall Classic, Bob fanned Reggie Jackson to save Game 2 in one of the most memorable moments in World Series history.
Ball game is over. Bob Welch, a tremendous pitching performance. Listen to the crowd.
I was just kind of firing that sucker and either throw it in on his hands or down away on the corner. And I became friends with Reggie after he was coaching one year in Oakland, and we talked about that scenario and how that has always come up to him, even though they won the World Series.
After 10 seasons in Dodger Blue, Bob was traded to the Oakland A's, where he won 61 games in his first 3 seasons, capped off with a remarkable 27 wins and the Cy Young Award in 1990.
It was very special. Our team was playing good baseball. It seems like every time I went out there, and you kind of create a little habit that, they thought that they had a chance to get some hits. I think it was very special, but then we went to the World Series and we got beat 4 in a row by the Reds, so, you get thrown out the door real quick.
Bob Welch won more than 200 games pitching in the big leagues, but his career was nearly cut short. You see, it was here, as a member of the Dodgers in the late 70s, that Bob realized he had a problem with a disease known as alcoholism.
After a ball game, we would all go out and have dinner and maybe a glass of wine or a beer, and a lot of times Bobby had more.
Bob's career was in jeopardy if he couldn't get his problems away from the field in order. In early 1980, the Dodgers asked Bob to travel to Wickenburg, Arizona, to enter the Meadows Rehabilitation Center.
I'm thankful to be in that Dodger organization at that particular time because I was an abusive drinker. And they confronted me on that situation, and I went to a little center here in Wickenburg called the Meadows, and it pretty much changed my whole way of life.
At the Meadows, under a team of counselors, Bob was able to start rebuilding his life.
I know that if that had not come about at that particular time, I'm sure I wouldn't be sitting here discussing with you about the career and things that have happened, because I was heading for destruction.
Former Dodger teammate and current broadcaster Rick Sutcliffe was a part of Bob's recovery.
It was the family week and friends week where you have your immediate family, and they wanted Bobby to have his best friend there. And I was honored that he chose me as his best friend. And honestly, not only did I know the whole thing down there at the Meadows was good for him, but it was wonderful for Robin and I collectively, and it was wonderful for me as well. There was just a great healing process that went on there.
In 1982, Bob co-authored a book about his road to recovery in hopes that his journey would help others avoid the same mistakes.
If you kind of learn those and you don't repeat them, they won't become mistakes. They become lessons, and that's the toughest one, where if you continue to repeat, all of a sudden you're 44 years old and you're doing the same thing that you did when you're 22, then it kind of gets ingrained in there that you have to have a total different approach to something.
Bob Welch's approach to life is simple. Take it one day at a time and try to give back to others.
And the more you actually can give it away, whether it's love or sobriety or friendship, then the more that I think you'll reap in the end.
For Playing Hardball, I'm John Magnuson.